against him. But
All right, well, let's get into this game. As you guys, I'm sure, have been very much anticipating Kolento versus Faramir.
So it is going to be a paladin start here for Faramir. And having the Zombie Chow turn 1 as the player going first is quite nice. We do see the Fiery War Axe is going to be available, though, and such a key card to be able to have.
yeah, I mean, Fiery War Axe is really sort of the talk of Warrior. It's like, this is one of the reasons why this class is so powerful, is because of the amount of leverage it gives you to forego early development so you can scale into your mid-game.
Well, I think one of the kind of nice things about Zombie Chow, like in this case, he doesn't have to coin it out because he doesn't care about taking the 2 damage. He's going to heal it back up when he kills it, so he's holding onto the coin and pretty intelligent.
Tokens, of course, going to start adding up a little bit, but...
Yeah. Not too big of a concern just yet.
And they might be a little bit more of a concern pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually, there's no Whirlwind available in that hand, so...
Well, we'll see if he draws it.
yeah, he might, I mean, maybe there's like a sense to like coin out Dustbite here. I mean, I imagine he's going to go for Muster for battle. If he doesn't, his plan certainly is to hold it for turn 8 and use it alongside the Quartermaster in one turn. But I'm
thinking it's going to be the play. I mean, he doesn't really have anything else to go on here, so I think it is going to be the play. We'll see. I mean, if he can draw a Whirlwind off the top right here and Acolyte coin Whirlwind, that would be the dream, man.
He's really considering his hero power, though.
I don't know. I feel like it's the play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you just develop your board and go for it. And if your opponent's got the answer, they kind of got the answer. It's really too early on to have developed a read. So unfamiliarity in the situation could be influencing you a little bit. But I would tend to just pretty much play Muster for battle here every single time.
So I mean here.
Yeah, look at this. Kolento so heads up on his play too, immediately choosing to go for Dustbite. And this is really smart because now Quartermaster is obviously one of the biggest threats he can face against this point, but he's going to expend the second charge of Dustbite. Yeah, before Quartermaster is even available.
Yep, really smart, honestly. And yeah, I mean, had he used the other weapon charge before he did that, it would have actually come out and buffed them before. So he had to do it on that turn, and very intelligent stuff there from Kolento. Like you said, I mean, like otherwise this could have been game ending with obviously like 5 of those minions down there.
Gonna get a card draw off this too. Wow.
Really nice.
Such a big board swing.
I know.
Poor Silverhand recruits. They're just reporting for duty and they get caught in this whirlwind. And
it's rough, man. It's like being in an extra in a war movie, you know?
Whoa!
Whoa. Did not expect that. I guess he just figures he needs to get something down. Doesn't really have much of a play. And needs something to answer the Acolyte right now, but it's going to get the triple draw anyway.
That seems like it's really aggressive. That feels almost out of place.
Like your Quartermaster?
Yeah, because he can just save Quartermaster until he draws the other Muster.
Yeah. I think he's just feeling like, what was his other play that turn? Just hero power, just like, you know, just hero power, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Just play Eldor Peacekeeper. I don't think Eldor Peacekeeper is going to hold as much value as Quartermaster going to long term.
Really? Even against the Warrior? And there's a lot of high value things to use the Peacekeeper on here. Well, just thinking about just the Sylvanas, and that's going to be the answer.
Pretty rough spot, I think, for Faramir now.
I mean, he doesn't want to give away his shielded mini bot, so it's like, I mean, he can Peacekeeper it, but really, it's not that helpful. This is just going to start going face with the weapon.
I mean, he's kind of committed to this, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at his hand. Double Consecrate, you know, lay on hands is a lot. It's really just not that helpful right now.
I think he's just going to risk losing the 1-1, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like this more anyway. We'll see. Hopefully he's going to steal 1-1 for his sake, and it is going to be the 1-1, so not a big deal whatsoever.
God, Kolento just has so many good options, too.
Yeah. The Belcher here is very nice.
And of course, Fiery War Axe.
Yeah. Cleans this up very easily. There just has not been anything going on, really, for Faramir.
Well, you know, sometimes you got to play Quartermaster on turn 5 with no tokens out. Just
I don't know. I know looks really bad, but I kind of understand why he's doing it. I just felt like he needed a body.
I mean, if he's playing it on turn 5, it's because he just wants some sort of board development.
Yeah.
But I think I would have liked to see him just play Outlaw Peacekeeper. He would have gotten a token alongside of it too.
True. Yeah, it definitely could have been the best play. It'd be interesting to see just how aggressive he wants to get here. Not very. I mean, already down to 24 HP. He has Gromosh, he has the Activator, he has Alexstrasza. He's got a lot of pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, it's going to be this is definitely an uphill battle for Faramir at this point. I mean, even Dr. Boom available. This is certainly going to be Alexstrasza.
Yeah. And now he's going to be facing lethal.
Oh my gosh, just already.
Yep. I mean, even if he somehow clears everything, he's dead to Gromosh.
Oh, well.
Oh wow, that is very helpful. So what do you think you trade in here and try to get that 8/8, or do you just Peacekeeper and ton up? I mean you have a lot of options. You also have Big Game Hunter, Peacekeeper, ton up. There's a lot of different ways you can go. A lot of ways.
I mean, to me, it feels like you want a Big Game Hunter here. That's just my instinct.
I feel like Big Game Hunter for sure.
I'm just not seeing a reason to not use Defender of Argus.
Yeah, no, I mean, at that life total, it's like you need to. So, I mean, it's looking like he may actually... Is he thinking about consecrating to keep that div shield up? I think that's what he's been thinking about. And, I mean, with 2 consecrates in your hand, I definitely can respect that, especially with how kind of a bad position you're in right now. I mean, if he does Peacekeeper, he can hold on to the Big Game Hunter later, but then that is going to be giving up that shield regardless. So he's going to give up a shield now. Argus up, Big Game Hunter.
Yeah, this game, that Defender of Argus was such an important draw, really fortifying this board position. Kolento went from, I mean, it looked from what looked like an almost unlosable position to like suddenly he's on the back foot, he's at 16 HP. He's got to clear all this stuff out.
Do you think he meant to not token there, or do you think he ran out of time with the animation?
I mean, he certainly could have intentionally not tokened to increase his odds
Just
of winning the brawl or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well, he can certainly whack the Sylvanas, but I mean, look at his HP now. It's like it's putting himself in a pretty rough position. And it's almost at the point where, like, at what point do you start using like Gromosh to clear and stuff? I mean, can you afford to take the 6 damage here? I mean, you could also Taskmaster Big Game Hunter, but then you would get it stolen. You'd have to. So, I mean, it's not worth it, I guess. I mean, you'd have to like silence it, then Taskmaster it, then actually then Big Game Hunter it. I mean, this is going to put him at 10 HP if he does decide to hit this, with 9 more damage sitting there. He can armor up, of course, but I mean, double Consecrate would actually end the game.
Looks like it's what's going to happen too.
Yeah,
I mean,
double Consecrate is going to end the game here unless he can clear something else up. So he does have a shield time, so he is going to stay alive actually.
pretty low life total though.
We'll see what he draws. I mean, if he draws another weapon here, that could be it. If he draws True Solo Champion, perhaps no, actually wouldn't be it because he wouldn't have enough mana to play everything. But still, I'm sure there's quite a few draws here actually that could be the end. Knife Juggler.
Yeah,
It's not really the best against an armor smith.
I think when you don't get brawled here, though, you feel really comfortable with what just happened.
Yeah.
Like, I would expect him to really load up the board at this point.
Do you think, I mean, it's looking like he's thinking about consecrating, trading in, and then starting to drop stuff, but, I mean, I guess if you hit this once as well, you can just trade in the 3/3.
I really don't like consecrating here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's just feeling like maybe he should get one out there because he has 2 in his hand, but, I mean, do you think he should just double Peacekeeper and everything, just go all in?
Maybe not double Peacekeeper, but I certainly would be Ironbeak Owling this Armor Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be
I'd be
playing
really
Knife
surprised
Juggler
if he's
as well.
not playing Knife Juggler. Really surprised. I really feel like it should be a Knife Juggler turn, but it's not going to be now.
If he doesn't play Knife Juggler, it's because this Death Spite's going to get some work done.
Yeah.
Wow, he's just going to double consecrate now.
Okay.
So really putting a lot of pressure on.
And he is going to have him down to, wow, oh my god, to 3 HP. with the Knife Juggler plus the double Peacekeeper play next turn.
This is actually just game, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. He can't do
Wow.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's actually taken
Go
out here
much
by
to clear,
Grommash.
but there's nothing. Yeah.
Wow, just falling just short. Kolento realizing.
Wait. Yeah.
Kolento realizing that he had the shield
It's
play.
lethal, yeah.
Just a 4-2 big game hunter at the end to avoid
Yeah.
taking too much.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we are getting into the next game. Let's see how they do.
Alrighty. So it is going to be Warrior versus Warrior Mir here. Faramir going to be bringing out the Control Warrior and going to be starting things off very likely with just the Armor Smith.
Pretty significant draw here too. He's got both options for weapons. He's already got Acolyte of Pain in his hand. He's got an Armor Smith developed.
Yeah.
And the Armor Smith is a card you really don't want to be drawing late game in these Warrior versus Warrior matchups.
Yeah, it's really a pretty dreamlike hand, man. But at the same time, Kolento's hand is not too bad either. Interesting that he doesn't decide to actually develop the Acolyte of Pain. I guess just maybe wanted to wait till he can get the guaranteed draw off it with a Task or a Whirlwind or something like that. He doesn't want to lose it to a Fiery War Axe, which would have been the play right here.
Yeah, for sure. Faramir, on the other hand, of course, he's going to choose to go for Acolyte of Pain. So very two different styles. Once again, kind of being shown here. Sort of like a patience versus a development game.
Yeah. And I mean, now that's where it's going to pay off, because the thing is, it's like he's going to be able to actually, like, Kolento next turn is going to be able to Acolyte, Cruel Task, clear the Armor Smith, and get 3 draws.
Faramir not coining Harrison Jones. In this
Wow, that is really shocking.
Yeah, I mean, he can deny the Whirlwind control to his opponent. He gets to draw a card off of that. That seems like really, really different.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised by that.
Well, either way, he has set himself up for a pretty nice turn, I think, regardless. But I guess just really valuing the development of those minions and trying to maybe put on a little bit more pressure or something. But, I mean, we do have... do you still think it's like a Cruel Task Acolyte and take one of these out? Get a double draw off your Acolyte, develop some minions.
I don't think he's going to Cruel Task straight away. I mean, obviously he's going to play an Acolyte this turn. It's a matter of how he's going to allocate the rest of these resources.
Yeah, it's looking like he's just going to hold on to the Cruel Task, probably. See if he
I
decides
certainly
to
don't mind
finish
using
it
it
off.
here, but
No? Okay, so...
just extra card draws.
Yeah, in the end, he is going to go for it. And guaranteeing...
Actually, he uses Cruel Task on his opponent's minion there.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, this is really smart, actually, because now the Acolyte he has is directly challenging this Armor Smith in terms of card draw. Armor Smith isn't challenging either one of these minions. It kind of forces Faramir to have a play just like this one in order to stave off some of this damage.
So both players now with Ragnaros in hand.
Yep, this looks like there's got to be a lot more card draws here for Kolento too. Really managing his resources extremely well so far this game.
I mean, having the shield block available, quite nice. He does still have a second Acolyte of Pain he can drop. I mean, I kind of feel like it's a shield block, shield slam to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it guarantees the 3rd draw as well from your Acolyte, because I mean, you can clear up the 1/2 with your 2/2 attack into the Armor Smith as well with your 1/2 Acolyte and get another card draw. So it's guaranteeing 3 card draws off his first Acolyte with another Acolyte in hand, and it's like, that's so huge early on. Is he actually going to decide to... Okay, yeah, never mind. I thought he was going to do it the opposite order, which was kind of been weird. But he's, of course, going to do it this way. Going to pick himself up a Sylvanas. Armor Smith is the draw here.
Not a lot of action in Faramir.
It might just be Armor Smith Whirlwind, yeah. I mean, he clears it up, builds himself up some armor, but, still getting that 3rd draw, man, is it's kind of... You feel pretty terrible anytime someone gets to draw 3 cards off an Acolyte.
Yeah, it's definitely a brutal spot to be in, and especially because your opponents, they're getting so much armor in the meantime.
I mean, just look at the card advantage right now. Kolento is sitting with 9 cards in hand. Like, he has everything.
Yeah, he's basically just got everything. The only thing he's missing here is a Fiery War Axe.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything else at his disposal, though.
A lot of options here for him as well. I'm guessing it's just going to be the Sludge Belcher developed, though. Maybe just Sludge Belcher, take out one of the Armor Smith, your Cruel Task. Could be Sylvanas as well. Just thinking about that. It's going to be the play. Okay. I mean, so far these warrior mirrors really have been very much so coming down to like the late game and stuff. And I mean, it's looking like he's going to trade in both his armor smiths and go for the fiery war axe here.
Trying to control tempo and pace the game. I think Kolento's like trying to force his opponent to have a weapon in this position.
The amount of armor that Faramir is building up is pretty insane.
Well, it's only at 15 right now. You know, it's not like the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
15 extra armor. That's never done anyone any good.
Still pretty nice. Dr. Boom, I think, is going to be the clear play here.
Yeah, that was a pretty good draw.
Oh, maybe not. I really would have thought it would be Dr. Boom for sure. Okay, Belcher Acolyte, I guess. Yeah. Oh.
All right, almost picked up.
Wow, he's just going to go with the Ragnar's.
Ragnar's turn.
Oh, man.
You know, I feel like a lot of this hinges on the fact that he chose not to use his Harrison. This is the second time in the tournament we've seen a player not use Harrison.
And then it just stuck in their hand.
Yeah, and then it just sat in the hand for the rest of the game.
But still, he gets the best hit there. It does take out the Belcher with the Ragnaros, so it does kind of pay off. Has the execute available, of course. And you could decide to shield slam it as well. Which do you think you should prioritize here?
In a lot in the past, I've chosen to not use shield slam. Yeah. And have
regretted
a lot of times regretted
because
not using shield
shredded.
Slam. It's kind of like it's along the same lines of like keeping a Harrison Jones in your hand. Sometimes the shield slam gets stranded.
Yeah. So I definitely think it should be the play, but he's not going to decide to go for it. Wow, just dropping his own rag, saying he has those tokens and he's willing to tango, man. Let's see if he gets it. Oh
wow! He shreds away a bunch of armor, but Faramir are going to be able to pick this.
But he can just shield master, shield slam it now.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's a bit rough.
A pretty nice pickup. I mean, he was able to shield slam Cruel Taskmaster anyway, but
yeah. But this is even better.
Pretty big risk to take, I think.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially when he's been playing so kind of like conservatively. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. All right, so see what it hits, and it does go face.
That's exactly what he wanted to. And now the shield slam, once again, it's kind of stranded in hand here. So execute. Almost certainly going to have to come out.
Like you talked about, I mean, he could have had the free shield slam to kill it off the previous turn, and he is kind of getting stuck with these cards on hand now.
Still has a really good execute here, though. He can also big game hunter.
Yeah, I think big game hunter might be the better play here because then there's some ways to easily take out shield maiden as well. I mean, you could do cruel task on your acolyte and weapon plus your acolyte on the shield maiden, take it out that way, and big game hunter the other. I think that may be the play here. Yeah, I think that's going to be what it is. I like this quite a bit. Yep. It does deal with the whole board.
This does open you a lot to Baron Geddon, though.
Yep, for sure.
Not necessarily that your opponent has it, but is that something that's on your mind?
It should be.
With that kind of attack, it certainly is.
Especially in the tournaments that we've seen. I mean, it's like you have to or rather not the tournaments, but the games that we've seen. There's been actually a lot of Baron Geddon in these warrior decks, so it's definitely something you have to be considering.
Pretty nice board development though, and he's still got Dr. Boom, and he's still got Baron Geddon in his own hand, and again a pretty nice board presence. So Faramir sort of once again this Harrison Jones seems to be the kind of one of the pivotal points of this game so far is having not used that. But if he can continue to maintain control of this game, maybe he stabilizes.
Yeah, we'll see what he does draw up here. Shield block.
Would you be a little surprised to see Harrison from like the middle of the hand?
Yeah.
If you're
yeah,
the spot right there.
I mean, it's like generally speaking, he's had a chance to use it. You would have thought he would use it, but it's like you said, it's like people can kind of get caught. Maybe just getting a little bit too greedy, hoping for the perfect play with it. Yeah. I mean, same thing happened to Kolento, though. Hoping for that perfect play. Unfortunately, kind of now stuck with a shield slam that may not really help him out that much. We'll have to see, though. He still can draw shield maidens and things like that, which could really help him out with it. And that may be something that he's counting on. If he hits this, I think it's just a Baron Geddon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he dropped a second armor smith too for the additional armor?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's probably a pretty good play because you have this shield slam in your hand. You're not really doing anything else with it. So you got to start making something happen.
And like I said, there still are like shield maidens and stuff available for him. So he definitely still has the potential to get a lot done with this.
5 armor, likely going to be picking up a lot more. Should Faramir choose to use Deathbite into this Baron Geddon?
Is able to shield slam it up too. Could shield box, shield slam. Or could simply, execute. Yep. There's a lot of ways you can go here. Sylvanas. How do you feel about Sylvanas shield slam here? Yeah.
just the old 1 and 3 him. Yeah, just get him.
Yeah, man.
It's the best way to do it.
He's going for it.
Oh, you meant Sylvanas and shield slam the Baron Geddon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you meant shield slam your own guy? Yeah. No, not that.
I was like, that's a little ambitious.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
Just rip it, man. Just 33% chance.
Just go for it, dude. Just steal that 7-5 right up. Still, I mean, it's a pretty back and forth game, but I mean, the Warrior Mirror is definitely, it's a lot of decisions, and can definitely slow down a lot in these mid games, because it is like, I mean, no one really can kill each other. It's just with the combo. It's like they basically need Alex Straza and then like Gromosh and kill that way. And until they do draw that.
I feel like Kolento actually has a pretty significant advantage because his Alex Straza is just going to be worth so much more than Faramir's Alex Straza will at this point.
Yeah.
And this is a 5 damage Alex Straza versus Kolento, which is going to be 15.
Yeah, very true.
And just given the hand context too, it's like, oh wow, both these players have 2 executes. They both have brawl, but Dr. Boom is really going to be telling the bigger story here.
Yeah, and I mean it's such a strong card. It's like we talked about. Yeah, sure, he can execute this up, cool task execute, but you still have to deal with the bombs. He's actually thinking about brawling here, which I don't know. Oh wow, Big Game Hunter off the top.
Big Game Hunter too.
I still like Cruel Task to execute more than the Big Game Hunter because I feel like that's just dead to the bombs, almost guaranteed. But both these players actually have like super dead hands.
Yeah, I mean, not really a lot going on, of course. I'd probably favor Kolento's board in a position like this again, but...
Do you think he's going to brawl? Just try to hold on to that?
I think he's going to brawl. I'm calling it right now. He's going to brawl.
Nope, Cruel Task execute.
Gosh dang it, I'm always wrong.
Eventually one of these days you'll get it, but...
What did I do to deserve this life?
I don't know, man. Okay. So let's see the draw. Shield Maiden.
Not a bad one.
Definitely not. Yeah, he's just going to be going face of the bombs, I guess. No reason really to trade those in for him.
Free damage.
Yeah. He silence up the bomb. Well, boom.
Straight to it.
Yeah, 4-2, man. Some big overkill there. So, still.
I think I actually would have liked to see Brawl there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, a
Another
second
one.
Shield Maiden.
25 armor. Oh my god, he's going to be at 30 armor if he plays it. Maybe he's not. Yeah, I guess he's saying he doesn't need to. I think it's actually pretty smart considering that Brawl hasn't been played and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually like this. Just continue shredding the armor. Say, sure, Brawl that, but...
He doesn't really have to do anything to win this game.
Yeah, exactly. It just has to exist. Just keep some minions down on the board.
Just has to exist.
Yeah, just keep hitting them.
Kolento simply existing is how he wins games.
Oh, jeez, man. He's potential to go up to 35 armor now. This is getting... God.
This is getting pretty absurd.
Yeah, I mean, these armor totals is just like in the realm of how do you win? like, I mean...
He's only got 47 HP as Ale.
Yeah. He has a Shield Maiden in hand. He's going to be okay. Doesn't have to worry about lethal this turn. Let's just say that. All right, so he's going to start working on that. And,
he's got working on that railroad.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck, man. You got a ways to go. Alex
Straza. Got him build eventually. And Alex Straza, just right on time, too.
Oh, geez.
Everything
right
panning
as he's
out.
about to break the armor, yeah.
Goodness, Kolento, just everything working out exactly how he wants this game. Faramir down to 8. He's going to have to brawl this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I feel like if you brawl, you just like...
You get Big Game Hunter, Shield Maiden armor up. But still kind of gross. Because, I mean, that's putting you at 15 HP, right? So you'd be at 15 HP, but 6 damage would be showing on the board. I guess you could hit with your weapon, too, and clear everything. I think that may be the play. He may just be going big game hunter, hit the Shield Maiden, you know, see where the cards will lie, but he's going to be dead.
Executing?
I don't know. I mean, you could just execute. Either way, I think he's dead. I mean, Whirlwind Execute. Yeah, it's Whirlwind Execute is definitely the safer play. So I mean, with the death rattle.
Yeah, looks to me he's just gonna pick apart this board.
Oh, only one.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he's still pretty much alive in this game so far.
Well, you know, isn't he? Oh,
He's down to 12 health, but I mean.
Yeah, there's no activation actually. My mistake. There's no activation for.
Well, there's no Grommash in Kolento's hand.
Yeah. So 12 HP. Do you think you feel like you have to execute that?
Wow.
Brawl. Wow.
Look at this.
I guess he's just hoping, man. He's
Yeah,
hoping
this
the big game
5-5
hunter
wins,
comes
man.
out. Oh, wow, and he does win it. So he's going to be able to drop the Belcher as well. Well played is called there. God, man, that was maybe his last chance, keeping that alive.
Yeah, I think so. We picks up Sludge Belcher now, though.
Yeah.
You know, things still kind of working out.
Do you brawl?
I think he silences Sludge Belcher is what you
You
do.
sure? You sure you're positive?
I'm not positive, but
Okay.
there's finally Grommash picked up.
And he has the Whirlwind.
Whirlwind Execute, and
Yeah.
it's only 10 points of damage though, and Faramir's at 14. So
Faramir still does have his own Grommash as well, but 35 HP to get through.
it's a long way to go.
Yeah.
How many cards are left in both these opponents' decks too? Kolento has 1 card. Faramir has 3 cards left. So
Yeah.
if the game goes long
What
enough,
else is still left in Faramir's deck? He was he the one who kind of like YOLO'd out his rag earlier?
Yeah, he played his Ragnaros.
Okay, so
Too
Kolento
early.
still.
Well, Kolento
has
played his Ragnaros as
okay,
well.
yeah,
Because
okay,
remember, he responded with his
Oh
own
yeah,
Ragnaros.
of course. Yeah. That feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was 316 years ago.
That's true.
So far, so.
Yeah.
Um,
Approximately.
yeah.
Just gonna Shield Main, get back into a safe life total there.
Yeah, this looks like to me it's the old Silence Brawl turn. Yeah, I think this is his chance to get back into the game if this Sludge Belcher wins the brawl. I mean, suddenly he's looking like he's in pretty decent shape.
Well, I was thinking about just booming.
Yeah, if he booms,
I guess he's got.
boom's actually still not that bad either.
Yeah, boom really isn't that bad.
I still like brawling though.
But yeah, there is the Whirlwind Grommash. He still has to worry about. I mean, he wouldn't die to that. He would have just enough to live. But he'd be in a pretty bad position. His Sludge Belcher would be dead. There would still be a Belcher, a Shield Maiden, and everything. So it's all going to come down to this, I think. And let's see who is going to come out on top and who is going to be the owl wins.
He kind of wins the brawl here.
Kind of wins.
Yeah. This last card from Kolento really going to matter a lot. And it's a Death Spite that may be enough to actually get the job done.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, depends what the last cards are here for.
I mean, it matters a lot on Faramir's side too.
Faramir. I mean, he has the Grommash Whirlwind. Has next to Shield Block.
Shield Block feels like a pretty good
I think
one
you
right
Shield Block and you see what you get because you could just Shield Block Dr. Boom anyway. So, I mean, but he knows what probably his last 2 cards are. We don't. So I mean, maybe there's something that he wants to get. But when are you going to Shield Block if not now?
Maybe you just don't at this point. Maybe you're happy just with the fatigue war.
Wow.
You know, kind of going along.
Think about actually Grommashing here.
Yeah, I think Grommashing here is alright.
It's very reasonable, yeah. Because I guess there's no, you can't, wait, how much actually damage is there? Would he die? He's at 15, but he would actually die, yeah, because the Death Bite plus activates the Grommash and then it kills him, right?
Yeah, it's 14 points of damage.
14, oh yeah, you're right, so he'd still be 1 short.
He's at 16 right now.
Yeah.
If he uses armor up, he's going to go up to 18
yeah,
life.
So, yeah.
A lot of this matters about what Faramir's last 2 cards are.
I think Faramir actually might have this, as hilarious as that is with the armor totals.
Yeah.
As long as he keeps armoring up and stuff, I mean.
I think he shouldn't use the shield block.
Yeah, Dr. Boom actually makes a lot of sense. Just Dr. Boom armor up.
Yep.
Because if you Dr. Boom armor up, okay, so Grommash armor up, both are fine. Because it's just the 1 minion. As long as he can deal with the Grommash, then he wins.
What a weird scenario. If he's been counting 2, he knows there's an Execute left. He knows that there's Grommash. And then you're dealing with kind of one mystery card, which I think in Faramir's head he'll a lot of times calculate as something like Whirlwind or maybe Unstable Ghoul or something along those lines. And, maybe it's an Explosive Sheep.
I mean, how in the world do you win this? I mean, so you activate, you can execute, and then you just pray, I guess.
Well, you're kind of hoping that Faramir's last card isn't a really significant one to really get the job done.
And I don't know what it is, so let's find out. I mean, this is what it's all going to come down to, dude. Can he actually clear it up?
Faramir says, well played.
Oh, no, it's a Fiery Wax.
Wow, Kolento waiting for the last possible moment to get in the last damage.
The last possible
that
turn.
he needed done. Unbelievable. Yeah, I actually stopped keeping track of the cards too. Anyone who would have really diligently counted that would have known that Fiery Warx was the last one, unless for some insane reason Faramir was only playing one
For
card.
game 3.
Yep, so it is going to be a handlock. So, I mean, handlock, if there's a deck to do it, to win 3 straight, I think it's got a decent shot.
Warlock usually is kind of the class that's going to do it, but this has been an uphill battle for every single handlock that we've seen coming into these matches so far. So
it's tough, man.
Yeah, it really is tough. With Kolento, with the way Kolento's hand is constructed right now, this might be one of the games that he's actually able to pick off. There's not an execute, there's not a shield slam, there's not a big game hunter.
Yep, we'll have to see. Alrighty, so it's going to be the Acolyte follow up the Armorsmith, and pretty nice early start here already for Kolento. Just being able to develop these early minions.
Yep. Ends up drawing an execute though.
Yep.
So not a big deal. He's got 4 copies of direct removal spells, and then also the big game hunter.
He's going to Whirlwind execute, get himself a draw, a couple points of armor.
What more could you ask for?
Not much, man. And I mean, he can armor up after it as well. I mean, just
Warrior's got the best deals anywhere. Who is it that we said had the best deals anywhere earlier?
Gadget's an auctioneer.
No, it wasn't.
That was Medivh.
Yeah, Medivh had the. Wait, was it Medivh?
I don't know.
We said someone else. It was like some crazy turn that happened.
Well, Medivh is Molten Giants, man. It costs 0 and they're 8/8, so they're pretty good deals.
Pretty good deals, yeah. We've seen a lot of good deals since GBG came out.
Yeah. Unsealable Portal also can be a pretty good deal. Can be a pretty bad deal too. Oh no, the best deal I think was the Doomsayer getting killed by the
the reversing switch.
Yeah, the reversing switch. Yeah, that was a pretty good deal.
I can't wait for Trade Prince Gallywix to have some pretty great deals.
Yeah. It should be interesting.
That card's so interesting and good to me.
Pretty crazy, man. There's been a lot of craziness so far. A lot less aggro stuff than I thought it was going to be. I guess it's just because the players have had some time to try to like stabilize, figure it out.
I think people are just sort of reluctant to play aggro as well.
Yeah.
Aggro, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and we saw 6-0 again. He just didn't work out for him in the earlier match.
Very true.
Gallywix is the guy. He's the guy who sells the tier 3 on the black market auction house, right? Is that him?
I'm not sure. I mean, the black market auction house, you can just buy tier 3 from any of the auctioneers, I think.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. It's rare. They like random.
Who is Trade Prince Gallywix?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know
That's your game,
lore,
man.
I don't know the lore.
We need Nimsh here. Nimsh knows about all
I
the
just
lore.
PvP.
Just PvP.
Yeah.
At PVPLive.
I mean, I used to raid, but I never knew the lore, man. Play with the game sound muted. I don't even hear the boss stuff. I can't stand the error sounds, man. That's not ready yet. That's not ready yet. It just drives me insane.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I used to press those buttons with my cooldowns off just so I could hear it.
No surprise there. All right, so it's going to be a Shadow Flame. We'll attack in as well. And not the most value Shadow Flame.
Yeah,
I would say.
not too exciting.
Gives him armor, gives him a draw.
So, hey,
he can still die to the Fiery War Axe. But I mean, I guess it's just looking at his hand. He really didn't have a lot of other stuff going on. Shield Maiden, pretty swell card to have in your hand here, I'd say.
Yeah. It is really tough to beat a 5/5 that gains you 5 armor. And I think one of the reasons it's so important.
Solid.
I think one of the reasons it's so much better than Priestess of Illumination. Like I know I made that comparison, and I really regret doing it. But it's because when you're at 30, you go above 30.
Yeah.
I think that's like, and then also of course the armor synergies that you have with Shield Slave.
Yeah.
But like the reason this card is so powerful is because it takes you above 30 life.
Imagine how busted Priest would be if you could just permanently heal above as much as you want.
Just shield yourself.
Yeah. Oh, exactly, dude. You just have you just play like 2 light wells and you're just healing yourself every turn and stuff. You're just 700 HP.
Beast would heal above 30. Power word fortitude yourself.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, double your HP. You give yourself what is the God? What is it? Gives you your equal attack to your HP. You just one shot them.
Fire.
Yeah, you inner fire yourself and you just win on turn 1. Blizzard should get to work on that.
Yeah, totally. That sounds really fair and balanced.
Yeah, it's
just
good.
like Fox News. Kolento putting together a lot of damage here. And just no fear of Molten Giants either. Look at this. I guess with the Brawl in your hand, it's like, you're like, go ahead, play 2 Molten Giants.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to play it into this, but at the same time, it's like, this is the same kind of situation that happened earlier, and then we saw with ECOP. You know, Blackout went all in for it, and ECOP dropped 2 Molten Giants, Ancient Heal bought it up. And I mean, this is the reverse of that situation. This is what happens when you go for it, and they don't have it. You know what I mean? It's like, he's saying, yeah, okay, have Molten Giants, see what you can do, but he doesn't. What can he get done here, man?
Oh, Jeff Goldblum slide, like just pulling away. Yeah. So much heat.
I kind of like Dr. Boom.
I kind of like all of his options. They're all really good.
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Boom is really good here, though. It's like, sure, attack your Molten Giant into that, or your Mountain Giant, right? Like, who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, he's at 12 HP. There's a potential for the bots to clear you up. Like,
you clearly don't have Molten Giants at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, BGH, sure, but are you then gonna like Hellfire that or something, and then you can kill yourself with the bots?
Yeah, maybe he's supposed to Hellfire first then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he'll kill himself with the bots.
Yeah, exactly.
Like pretty close to kill himself. Yeah.
Well, or could just take out his
That
giant.
happened to me actually the other day. I was like, oh, I have lethal, so I just like attacked this guy with my Deathbite after I played Gromish, and the Boombot just both hit me and I died.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I just completely forgot about that.
That's brutal.
I just wasn't even paying attention. I got Dr. Boom in my sights.
That's like where you like. Oh god. Wow.
Yeah, he's got to crush the armor here. Really, no choice about it.
Yeah.
Like, again, like you
The
said,
value brawl.
Is he going to attack these 1/1s?
You can't coin, so you can't brawl. No. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you going to do?
You can't coin Mountain Giant. You can't coin Brawl. What can you do?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Clearly, the play here then is to Alex Strassi yourself.
Oh yeah, that's the only way out.
That's the only answer.
Yeah.
Not really a good turn here.
Yeah, real talk though, like Sludge Belcher to me seems like straight away probably the card's going to get played this turn. But how do you allocate these spots? This is sort of the reason why I was talking about Dr. Boom is such a good card. Not necessarily just because it affects one side of the board, but it also leverages these boom bots in your favor. Like, how does he choose to use these? Does he just go for face? Does he try to get some lucky bounces off these explosions with them? Like, he's got a lot of options at his disposal.
Oh, okay, well, that worked out. What I was going to say is the sequence that I kind of liked the most would have just been Acolyte into the 4-2 and one bot into the 4-2, guaranteeing it's gone. You're not going to be wasting any additional damage, and then it's pretty much guaranteeing that both these minions are going to have tech into your Belcher. Because it's like if you trade in one bomb and it hits the wrong thing, or you trade in the bomb and it hits a 4 into that, it's kind of a bit of a waste.
Something he might have been trying to set up here too is he might have been trying to draw an overextension from his opponent to get a lot of value from this brawl. I mean, because he's comfortable on his life totals. Like even if he takes 13 here, he's in pretty good shape. But it looks to me like Faramir is going to dedicate a lot to this board with this antique heal bot. I mean, this is the turn I feel like where you're primed to heal yourself back up. And now look at how full his board is. This is like a very, very value brawl style turn. I mean, it could come back to bite him sometimes, but this feels like a really great spot to get a ton of value out of a card that a lot of times in this matchup is used to clear out maybe 1 or 2 minions.
I mean, gotta feel a little bit nervous about leaving minions up because of the potential of brawl. And it looks like he's gonna taunt up as well. I mean, I think it's probably gonna be brawl.
Oh, it's got to be brawl.
Yeah, it's got to be brawl.
Yeah.
The question is,
you draw your card.
Do you drop anything first? I mean, do you like?
No,
you don't put down your owl.
No, I think when there's this much stuff on the board, you draw your card with Acolyte, you brawl. Even if the Mountain Giant wins, you have Big Game Hunter for it. You had Shield Slam for the 5-2. Like everything worked out in your favor here.
Yeah.
It's really good actually to run the Acolyte into this 3-2.
Yeah, because the death rattle from the bomb could actually kill something off as well.
Yeah, that also. But now even if this 3-2 wins and say this Boombot fails to hit the wrong one, he's got Shield Slam. He's just got everything in check with this brawl here. This is the exact turn Kolento was trying to set up. What a master.
Oh man, it's gonna hit it. Oh my god, that brawl.
Kolento dropped a my thanks.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh my god.
Kolento.
Just spamming well played.
Kolento is just too good, man. How on earth are you supposed to beat this guy in terms of like technical play? This guy has played technically perfect pretty much this entire series.
Yeah, brutal. Do you taunt up the rag? He's not going to. Oh, that's good.
That's a sigh of relief.
He's still alive.
But look at how much stuff he's still going to have to
Yeah,
fight through.
of
like
course.
Big game hunter for the Ragnaros. Like, yeah, sure, you hit my shield maiden, big deal. I got Ragnaros in my sights. I wish he always said like the specific minion that he had that he was killing.
Yeah.
It's like an arena. He said War Golem. Yeah. War Golem, by the way, great replacement for any legendary that you guys don't have for the budget decks out there. Always replace it with War Golem.
Solid advice there, admirable. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Boom is basically just War Golem with a couple of 1/1s.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just an orange instead of a white. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still concerned about Grommash.
Rightfully so, I suppose, but
Yeah, this is a spot where I feel like where I haven't really experimented much, but I feel like I want to start playing my games a little bit more aggressively. Like,
I feel like a Sylvanas there is kind of like more like playing for the
yeah,
win.
like how long can you play around Grommash for?
Yeah.
It just really isn't that long.
Agreed.
Alex Strauza actually got value here.
One value.
Yeah,
Value right there.
it's more than 0. It's
Sweet.
more than -2.
It's infinity more than 0, actually.
Infinity percent.
Oh, Siphon Soul. Nice draw.
So now here's the question: do you taunt the Molten Giant? Are you worried about Black Knight at all?
I don't think so. You've seen almost everything. You've seen everything from this deck. You've already seen every
Oh
card.
yeah, you're right. You've seen all 30 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he knows Black Knight's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
exactly. Yeah.
Heads up.
So that's actually one of the advantages of having played through this deck, because that's something that you would have taken into consideration.
Yeah.
So he's thinking
Cup
it
half
through.
full. You're down 2 games, but you know he doesn't have Black Knight.
You know he doesn't
Yeah.
have Black Knight.
There's no risk associated with this
None.
one.
So it's going to be the taunt up. I think he's considering whether he wanted to tap.
Yeah, I like taunting up here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you've been really consistent in your game plan of playing around Grommash the entire time. I don't think now's any different.
Yep.
Kolento just straight away, though. Look, it looks like he's going to go. You think he takes the 50-50 here?
Looks like he's going to, man,
my
with the
gosh.
armor up. Or does he take the face damage and just clear out the 8/8?
Oh, gosh, that's tough.
Actually-
he's actually
actually-
going to use neither.
Wow, I actually think he should have I think taking the face damage there wouldn't have been bad.
Jiraxis
Now the
picked
silence,
up.
man. He's the silence as well to clear this up so easily. Like, he can just silence that. How do you feel about just like you can just
Mountain
maybe-
Giant Silence.
Mountain
yeah.
Giant Silence?
Or
yeah.
maybe Dr. Boom's better. Maybe Dr.
Trade?
Boom's just better
Do you think
presence.
he trade? Or do you shred the armor?
I think you shred the armor.
Yeah. Sylvanas silence. Okay. Still very nice.
Yeah, this is
I would
also
shred-
proactive development. Like that. Now this puts a lot of pressure on Kolento's side of the board. Oh, he's going to choose to trade instead, though.
I like shredding the armor, but it's not gonna end up.
Oh my
mattering.
gosh! And Kolento
Oh, wow.
picks up exact lethal.
He can just silence it. Oh, he doesn't even need
No,
to.
he
No, he
shield
just
slings.
hits it. You're right.
Wait,
He
no,
just hits
no,
it.
wait.
He
doesn't
just hits
have
it
the
with his
mana.
weapon. He just. No, okay, wait. No, he can't kill him.
Yeah, he doesn't have the. Oh my
He doesn't
gosh!
have
I was
mana,
just
yeah.
so assuming he had
Yeah.
11 mana. This match
Yeah.
has been going so long that my brain is fried in terms of math.
Yeah, because I mean, he can hit the weapon and he can task hit his face, but he doesn't kill him. That would be 12 damage. So he put him at 3.
You gotta clear out the Molten Giant, right?
Yeah. But if you play into the Sylvanas, what does that do?
Well, you're just not playing
Unless
this
you kill him,
yeah.
Yeah.
You're just armoring up. But now,
Do you hit his face? Guess no.
I think if you hit his face, you kind of said maybe you got. Oh my
Oh
gosh!
my god, that's game. That's got to be game.
Antique Healbot gets picked up.
I greet
at
you.
exactly the right time for Faramir when he's facing down lethal next turn from Kolento.
Yep. Out it comes, man. Back up to 21, and I think that's got to be
That
it.
may have just completely sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Kolento might have to take a really big risk here and just hope that he can follow up the damage on this.
I don't think there's any way he can, though. I mean, what do? You drop the garage, you cruel task, you hit it, then he just steals it with his Sylvanas next turn. Right? Like, I mean, you can silence, I guess, too, but then you can't do
Where
both.
does he find the damage to actually pick all this
Now
up?
he doesn't even have his activator anymore.
He's got to execute instead.
I mean, we don't know how many cards does he have in his deck. Let's see. He has 7 more cards in his deck. What else does he still have left? I'm not sure. Okay, so he has 7 cards. We have 6 cards left in Faramir's hand. Now 5, obviously.
All right. I mean, this is the Mountain Giant turn that you've been looking for so long. Do you even need a life tap anymore?
I don't think so. No, I don't. What are you looking for? You know?
Yep.
I think I like just dropping that and just trading. I mean,
Antique Healbot has completely turned this game 100% around in a spot where I thought Faramir had just lost the game. A single heal for 8 has pulled him back into it.
I mean, it's a healing. It's like a healing touch. You know, like it's the Druid card, except you get a minion too for 2 more mana. Not bad.
But now look at this spot. Faramir's going to have to trade his Mountain Giant in here. But I think he's okay with that. He's got Dr. Boom and Jiraxxus left.
Or do you Hellfire? Do you Hellfire Shadowflame? Do you think that's no? That's not.
I think you just develop a Dr. Boom and keep going.
Okay, I like this. Cool task. I mean, just gotta go for it.
12 points of damage. I mean, wait a minute. Does he have Gorehowl in here? Faramir's going to drop Jiraxxus though.
He does have Gorehowl, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he doesn't have Gorehowl.
I'm not sure.
No,
Gorehowl was in one of the decks.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. Jiraxxus is going to come out 7, 8, 9.
You can even Mortal Coil just to mess with him. Oh, it's gonna be the Boom Bot. Yeah. And I mean, I think when Jiraxxus comes out, we're probably just gonna see the concede.
Doesn't get to use Mortal Coil, but I don't think he really cares about that because he faces Jiraxxus. Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. What if Kolento draws? Does Kolento have Harrison?
I don't know.
I don't even remember. I literally this match has been going on so long.
My
I just
brain
don't
is
even
just
remember
melting,
he has.
dude. Deathbite. Go face. He's got faith, man. I mean, he hasn't left. He knows what's in his hand. So I mean, he's 4 more cards. He must think that there's some win condition here still for him. Dark Bomb.
No taunter though.
Oh, well.
I don't know what Kolento can draw to actually win this game at this point.
He's going to be able to put him down to 7.
Even Harrison. Harrison would put him in fatigue, right?
Yeah. Another Deathbite. So I guess his plan is just keep whacking him in the face and just hope he can.
He needs to draw like double shield block.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
shield block,
there's
shield block
9
to stay
damage
alive.
next turn. Plus he has the Hellfire, so he's 12.
Oh, he's
damage.
he's got lethal right now.
Dark Bomb as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has it.
Wow.
Double Dark Bomb actually.
What a close series.
Oh my God, dude.
What a misfortune in terms of our counting. We just can't count to 1 sometimes.
No.
And but wow, really well played series here from I'm sorry, well played game here from Faramir. But you got to give credit to Kolento here, setting up that massive brawl turn. It was like for a long time in that game, he felt like he was.
It's gonna be Mage actually coming out here, so it should be pretty exciting to see. And it's actually like.
This looks like Strife Crow's Mage.
Yeah, he has
those guys are
explosive
teammates.
sheep,
Yeah.
double water alley. I saw him. He had I believe I want to say the gnome in there. So I mean, this is kind of like mid-rangey.
This looks like the Strife Crow Mage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that Kolento actually touched on in Dream Pack too.
Doomsayer.
He's got a Doomsayer though, so it's not.
Yeah,
That's
it's not completely that. It's like some sort of variation, and these are interesting because it's like traditionally you would see like there would be your full-on freeze mage kind of control, and then there would be like the more aggressive type decks, and now there kind of seems to be these variants that are just kind of somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But they actually work quite well.
Yeah, I mean it's looking pretty good so far.
Well, I just mean in general, yeah, they are pretty good. Double water alley in hand, that's not too bad. I mean, you can coin water alley into another water alley. It's pretty nice. And he has a polymorph available if a giant is going to be the drop, but 2 Twilight Drakes in hand, and honestly, I think that's way more what you would rather have than a giant against a mage.
I think typically he would as well. He's going to get a little bit of a shot in the dark here with his Ironbeak Owl plus ping, ends up taking out one of these Twilight Drakes. But yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I think that Twilight Drake is the one you would rather see in your opening hand versus a mage.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Drake's gonna come down here, and I mean, do you feel that it just prompts the poly?
Yeah, he's got an Ironbeak Owl.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course, yeah, my mistake. The second one though, you think he'll save it for a giant, or do you think he'll feel like he has to?
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. He's got Sludge Vulture in his hand too, so he can kind of really stave off the actual damage that this Twilight Drake's going to be able to deal.
I mean, I kind of like, yeah. I mean, he definitely can just kind of really push the tempo here. I kind of like the polymorph. I just feel like it's like really forcing your opponent to have some really good cards in his hand. I mean, he's already going to be going through 2 Twilight Drakes. But Sledge Belcher definitely works out quite well also. I mean, he has 2 of them.
I see merits to both sides, and it's tough to tell which one's better.
I mean, looking at Faramir's hand, he has a Molten Giant. He has double Anti-Keelbot. Doesn't have any of those Mountain Giants just yet, though. He doesn't really have another great play here. And actually, going to have to Siphon Soul up one of those Water Alleys, which is definitely not really what he's wanting to do.
Not a prime target for sure.
Trogzor
into the hand for Kolento. I think Trogzor, by the way, was probably the most overrated card in GVG, in terms of reviews across the board. Yeah. There's a handful of people out there who were like, no, Dr. Boom is a lot better, but myself included, I thought Trogzor was
insane. Yeah,
and it's definitely good, but it's not nearly as good as a lot of people were kind of thinking it was. But in this matchup, it certainly is going to end up doing a lot of work. I mean, this is a very spell-centric deck that Faramir's playing. It's tough to really have a direct answer to Trogzor. And then this secret here, this could matter a lot too. So it's Ice Barrier, so he's not going to be able to duplicate this Trogzor or anything. But
I don't think it would be a bad play to just drop the Trogzor here.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I mean, he's thinking about a Sledge Belcher, I guess, but I think it's just going to be Trogzor.
Yeah, I mean, what direct answer does your opponent have to this?
No, I mean, it's very unlikely that he even has the other Soul Siphon, especially since he already used one early on,
I mean, it's really tough to cast spells in a scenario like this.
Yeah. It's not really a lot of plays. I actually like the Molten Giant.
Do you life tap, or do you just? Are you worried? Are you that conscious of your health right now?
I don't know. I mean, you have the anti-Keel bots. I don't know how scared you have to be just yet. But it's hard to know what is in this deck. That's a really scary thing. Ooh, Archmage.
Especially when you've seen Trogzor. I mean, this is a card that, again, it was a little bit overrated at first and kind of fell out of favor from really early on when a lot of people were playing pretty much a copy of this in every long-term deck.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I kind of just like Belcher and just go face. I mean, it's not like you're going to trade into this. There's not really a lot of other plays, but I guess it's just whether you feel confident to actually start burning him right now. But I feel like showing the fact that he dropped that Molten Giant that early kind of shows he's pretty much in desperation mode right now. So yeah, I definitely like this a lot.
Ragnaros comes in the hand, but he's down at 12. I don't know if he can afford that sort of risk.
So the hero power on the Molten Giant was actually really intelligent, kind of anticipating the possibility of a play like this, where the Molten Giant gets traded into Trogzor, and I think that's actually going to be what happens. So using that, even though it seems like a tiny little thing, being able to do that on the Molten Giant as opposed to the other, it was pretty smart. And maybe going to go for a little bit more greed there.
Actually, I like attacking this because it prevents the hero power.
Yeah,
so another
exactly.
Again,
very smart tip
for
really
that. Small situations where it ends up benefiting him a lot.
Well,
yeah, Trogzor basically has gotten no
value.
Actual value out of his passive.
Just got 6 damage in so far. That's about it.
About to get in effectively 4 more.
Yeah. I mean, you could obviously taunt up and take out the owl and just kind of hope that he has to use a spell to get rid of it, and then hoping you're stealing that spell if you want to get some more value from it, something like that. It just depends, what kind of position he's feeling like he's in.
Is your opponent going to use a spell while you have Trogzor out, though?
I don't know, but how? I mean, it's kind of tough to get through like a Sledge Belcher and an Unstable Ghoul, and you don't really want the Trogzor to stay out for that long. So, definitely, even if he doesn't, isn't it limiting his options quite a lot?
Potentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's definitely something you have to consider. I mean, taking out the A4 is definitely nice, but it's just like how much does he feel like he needs to get out of this card, I guess. Does he feel comfortable to make that kind of trade, or is he, is he really comfortable in his position?
I think I would favor trading here. Yeah. You just don't want any crazy shenanigans to happen. Shadow Flame would still sweep your entire board away.
Very true. The Zombie Chow. So Iron Beak Owl, another one going to be able to get
exact
silence
situation
up on that.
talking about too.
Yeah. both his Belchers probably going to get silenced up. Pretty frustrating.
You know, this is a really small thing, but Faramir actually played the non-golden antique he bought this game, and he played the golden one last game.
Oh.
So if Kolento's playing really close attention, he's positive there's 2 of them in there right now.
Yeah, I want that. That I would be interested to see if he actually noticed. That's something that's very.
It's like
minute.
very particular.
Yeah.
Straight to the Sludge Belcher.
Ouch.
Is there Frost Nova in here? Like, the Doomsayer seems really interesting, but
I think there's got to be. I mean, this deck just seems like a mishmash of everything. Explosive Sheep, we have Polys, we have Unstable Ghouls, Antonidas, Trogzor. I mean, it's hard to. Where do you start when you're cutting those cards? I mean, Fireball's definitely gone for sure. Flame Strike's probably gone. I mean, it's hard to know.
To me, Doomsayer seems like a card where you'll play it on turn 2 against some aggro decks.
Yeah.
What'll happen is it'll kill maybe 1 or 2 minions.
Or if they have to attack into it. And
if they happen to have 7 damage, you did gain 7 health from this.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it's also preventing them from playing a minion on a turn that they can't deal with it.
Mm.
What to do?
We're like in a spot like this.
Faramir is not impressed with the polymorph. All right, so we'll just be the Doomsayer turn. Could silence it up if he cares to.
This feels like a spot where it's a pretty good place to silence it.
Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't mind just seeing Loth up here as well, to be honest.
It's the news that it's Ice Barrier. I think that's probably pretty good news for him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he just passes.
Passes, wow. I would have thought Loth would be pretty reasonable there. It's like you leave yourself with a very strong board position. Hard to answer that. I mean, how does the mage answer that without using spells? And can't really use very many spells with Lothab down. Interesting stuff. I mean, what do you think was the concern there?
He might have attacked and clicked end turn before
It's possible.
before anything happened.
Yeah.
And then saw it was Ice Barrier. It was like, oh, I just figured this was Mirror Entity because it wasn't Counterspell, it wasn't Duplicate, it wasn't.
Do you think we see okay? I was gonna say, do you think we see Antonidas Frostbolt, but it's obviously not going to be the case. Wants to kind of just secure his board position a little bit more. I guess he feels like he needs to get more value guaranteed out of that Antonidas.
Yep.
And I mean, now that he has the Antonidas, we saw one of the things in I think it was Draco's mage where he had a lot of spare parts, was it not? So, do you think that we'll see some of those things in there?
Spare parts on the spare part one was that was Blackout stack. I think.
Oh, my mistake. Yeah.
And wow,
Oh,
Flame Strike
man.
is picked up.
Such a nice draw.
You do give your opponent a 0/6 if you do this though.
Yeah, it can be taunted up. Actually, could
Yeah.
make a difference. But I mean, you gotta get rid of it.
I mean, I don't see much of a better spot here.
Mm-hmm.
What to do? What to do?
Yeah, so I think it's just going to be the Flame Strike and then paying.
That would have been the reason maybe he didn't play Lothab, is because Lothab wasn't adding enough pressure to really get a lot done to this board.
Mhm.
And he's anticipating something like Flame Strike later on.
Yeah, later on, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Can delay turns like this, obviously, but it's hard to know, when is best to play. Explosive Sheep, okay.
He's going to choose to take 5 points of damage and try to get an overextension on the board.
I guess
so that
this
way
should
he
be
gets a
the
better
Frostbolt,
Flame Strike.
maybe. No, okay, no, he's just going to pass turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's trying to get a better Flame Strike out of this.
Okay. Also, kind of maybe trying to pretend that he doesn't have it.
Yeah, this is exactly this is the same thing he did with Brawl.
Yeah.
And some potentially bad news.
Yeah, no kidding. Ouch. I mean, some really bad news, actually. I mean, what do you even really play into this? I mean, you can. It's not really.
I mean, even if you Flame Strike Frostbolt here, you're not going to take any damage, and you can ping out this Mountain Giant next turn.
But then you have no draws from your Antonidas and stuff.
You're
It's
falling
like-
so far behind now because
Yeah.
Handlock has just been drawing 2 cards this turn for the past couple turns. Like, who knows what he's got in his hand at this point? So,
Yeah.
even if you can manage to do this, so it looks to me like he's going to try to take 5 more damage again. Faramir's got to know at this point.
Oh, he actually hits the other ones to try
wow.
to show that he doesn't. Wow, that's actually really smart.
Wow.
That is actually really smart.
Kolento really, really playing this Flame Strike well so far.
But I mean, just more and more 8/8s are going to keep getting dropped in, and 8/8s don't care about Flame Strike. It's like
they really don't.
This is the problem. I mean, yeah, it's smart play, but at the same time, where is he going to kill all this stuff off? Where is he going to get his damage in to win the game?
I think this is a risk he had to take, though. I mean, looking at how far behind he's fallen, he's got to get tons of value out of this.
He just has no cards in his hand, and there's an antique heal bot in his opponent's hand still. It's like
this has got to be a Lotheb turn.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
It's not going to be a Lotheb turn.
Wow.
This has got to be a Lotheb turn.
I would think so. Really
There's
surprised.
just taunt up instead, so he protects his Sylvanas for another turn, but
Need to kill a lot of his own. Not very helpful here. Well, can Flame Strike ping take out, a decent chunk of this, but he's going to lose one of his minions, so you might have to attack in your zombie first, and you're healing your opponent up more. You're really still sitting with almost no win conditions, but it's like Flame Strike or die, so you have to Flame Strike this turn.
no, give me death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me Flame Strike or give me death.
Yeah.
But he has Flame Strike. But even the Flame Strike still yields death.
Yeah. So, I guess you attack your Zombie Chow into the 8/8, and then you Flame Strike ping the 8/5, but still you're left with an 8/2 and a 2/1 on the board. And you're going to take 10 damage, be brought down to 10 HP, and you still have a lot of follow-up as well.
Yeah, just really not an option, though.
Yeah, but it's like you're putting your opponent to 23, he has an anti-heal bot still, he can go back to 30, I just don't see how he loses this game. Faramir is looking like he's in an amazing position to actually tie this up.
And now that the Flame Strike has cleared his board, now's the time for Lotheb.
yeah, I guess so, man. So he's going to tap up. Because he's just not going to even drop anything. Just doesn't feel like he has to.
He's got to be dropping Lotheb here. Like, this is lethal next turn.
Okay, yep, there it goes.
Yep. It's like, if you're not, you can't be playing Lotheb and not dropping it this turn. Like,
The value arcane.
I feel like I would have played this like 5 turns ago.
Yeah.
But Lotheb's going to do what he can, though.
He's going to go face, man. He doesn't care. 13 damage.
And a Dr. Boom.
Yep. This has got to do it,
case.
man.
Just in case.
Put them down to 8. I just don't think. Unstable Portal. Let's see what you got, Unstable Portal.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see the Deathwing.
What if he gets Deathwing off of it?
No, Kolento, no! No! Why?
Well, because he's going to draw Flame Strike. That's why, apparently.
Yeah, I still would have rather see the Deathwing.
Well, if he's got 2 Flame Strikes in the deck, I guess you got to... He's still dead, though.
Yeah, he's still dead. Yeah, he's still dead.
Wow.
Should have been the Deathwing, man. Should have been. Big mistake there from Kolento. Unexcusable. Unexcusable.
Yeah, that's unexcusable. I think it's just,
He's up 2-0. Now he is back against the wall here. He is down to his last deck. It's Warlock versus Warlock, and it is Zoo. And we have not seen the aggressive decks fare so well so far. It really has been the story here, all about control.
Yeah, it really is. You have to throw the curveball in there at some point. And Kolento, I'm not really sure that I've ever seen him actually play Zoo in a tournament before.
Yeah.
That's not to say that he hasn't. I haven't seen every tournament Kolento's ever played, but this is a guy who really has played a lot of handlock in his history. Control Warrior is something he favors. Priest Control. He's a guy who likes to play control decks. So he may be trying to use that to his advantage in a match. Like, you actually see both these players waiting the maximum amount of time on their mulligans, because neither of them willing to really pitch a bunch of stuff here and give the other player the information they want. Like, if Kolento mulligans too quickly, the jig is up. Like, maybe Faramir gets a little bit of a read that he mulligans so quickly. And, Faramir obviously kind of playing consistently with that, really reluctant to choose his mulligan decisions until Kolento's done his. So he kind of picks which cards he would like to have. And so he kept this Mountain Giant in his hand. He drew a second Mountain Giant, drew a Big Game Hunter and Dr. Boom. And then he gets the bad news, turn 1 Leper Gnome. And you're like, oh my gosh, Kolento has just played 2 grindy control decks against me, and now he's trying to kill me as quickly as he possibly can.
Yeah. We'll see how it's going to work out. Another Tron going to be coming down here. And it's all going to be down to the curve. How does this curve out for Kolento? And having the Implosion in there definitely can slow things down. Doomguard, Implosion, not really the cards you want in your opening hands. But this is curved out pretty nicely for him so far. Picking up that Haunted Creeper going to work out. And going to drop the Sergeant. And this can put him in a position where he could get a pretty early Doomguard for a relatively good price.
This seems like the spot you definitely want to be in.
Ancient Watcher, perhaps. You know, this is one thing I was thinking about. You know, do you like, if it were you, would you have coined Ancient Watcher? Because I mean, like in this situation, would have actually really paid off because he got the Century Protector, he got the Iron Beak Owl after that. I mean, it's like, is that something? And even just sometimes when someone coins out the Ancient Watcher, it can just be the bluff, and it makes you so scared about like, you know, like all the different options that there can be. They can wipe your board with it. They can, you know, taunt it up. They can silence it, start getting aggressive. There's like a lot of different things that starts making you think about.
I think I still would have favored Live Tap.
Yeah.
I think he just need a few more options to really see where his hand's going to develop. But
Already so low though.
Yeah, it's going to cost him a lot here. He's going to be able
Does
to.
get the Shadow Flame though.
Wow, he's actually going to go for a Mountain Giant here.
Wow.
This is a spot where I'm kind of curious.
Is he just like dead?
No, he's not dead.
No.
I mean, he's facing down 2, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this is
a 5. That's, I mean, that's 6 damage.
This is
He has
11
11
points
damage.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, God, that's brutal. And he can Shadow Flame up his 8/8 next turn, but there's still going to be, if he does that way, then there's still the Annoyotron and stuff. And
you still have to mind you too, if he chooses to do that, maybe he's facing down 2 Molten Giants and taunts, and then he loses all potential to actually win the game at that point.
That's true.
So he's got to really think through his options and figure out what the best play is here. Like it might be right to actually not put a ton of pressure on your opponent's life in this spot.
I mean, you could.
But maybe it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's made so much more difficult by the fact that it's the last game.
Yeah.
There's no more like, there's no just like, well, it's okay, you know, I'll go for it. If it doesn't work out, I'll win the next game.
Yeah.
This is it. Like, I mean, he's just lost twice in a row to this deck.
If these implosions were 0-cost Soulfires, he'd have a 67% chance to win this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to have to make a decision moving forward, though. He's going to go with
gonna go for
Doomguard,
it,
which
man.
means he's going to go all in.
Yeah, and there are no Molten Giants in hand, so.
Kolento sends everything to the dome, and Faramir taking 12 points of damage.
I mean, the thing is, I think he wins because even if he Shadow Flames this, yeah, he won. If he Shadow Flames that, he takes 2 from Leper Gnome. There's still the Annoyotron. There's still the spiders. I don't think is there anything that he can do?
Well, you can taunt the Mountain Giant.
You can Shadow Flame. You can taunt, yeah. But
This
then
is only 11 points
if he taunts,
damage.
if he taunts the Mountain Giant, then he can't kill the Doomguard with the Shadow Flame.
Well, you can play Mountain Giant and then coin taunt both the Mountain Giants.
Yeah. Do you think he just taunts everything up here? Doesn't Shadow Flame?
I don't think you can afford a Shadow Flame here.
Yeah, I guess so.
You have to find
Pretty
a recovery
brutal,
turn
man.
for it.
I mean, the thing is, then you're just praying that he doesn't have, like, he can't do 2 more
You
damage.
indeed
to it.
are, but I don't
I
really,
mean, I
I don't
guess
really
you're
see another
praying
way to
either
approach
way,
this
yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the edge of defeat.
Let's see what the draw is. It's all going to come down to this. Does he take the shield off? I feel like he should take the shield off just in case there's some sort of
Well,
a buff
he's
thing,
counting
but
everything that's happening
I don't
here.
know if it really
I mean,
matters.
he's concluded he's not supposed to take the shield off. Undertaker's certainly not what he wants.
May as well tap then, see what he gets.
Well, he's got to think about how this implosion works out too. Like
Yeah.
he wants to use the implosion somehow. But
I mean, I think he's definitely going to use the implosion on one of the taunts and just see how it goes. But you probably want to attack some stuff in first so that you're actually going to have room. So, I
Yeah.
mean, to me, it's like, do you think that you go, okay, the highest it can roll is a 4. So what do you feel about just like Leper Gnome in to the far left one, Sergeant into the far left one? That leaves you 3 spots, right? So I guess, actually, can you even build up enough spots? Because then if you kill,
you could suicide the Doomguard.
yeah, you would have to suicide the Doomguard. I think you suicide the Doomguard then. I think you suicide the Doomguard first. But maybe it doesn't matter. Depends what he rolls. Let's see. 2. Not what he wanted, but he's going to be able to get through this. If that was a 4, that he actually could have busted through this turn. I think. That would have been close, I guess. All right, so still.
Wow.
See what the draw is here. Oh, God, Antique
Wow,
Healbot.
Antique
Oh, my
Healbot
God.
is picked up.
This card has just been the hero of the tournament.
Gonna go up to 10, and Kolento.
I thought he
only
was.
has
I mean,
one Doomguard
with that,
left.
he still has a chance. Like, I thought he was so dead, man. When I saw that turn.
Another thing too is this could be a Shadow Flame turn. Like he could run
Yeah.
the Sunfury Protector in the 1/2, hit the egg, and then use Shadow Flame on this Ancient Watcher. That's a possibility too. At that point, you die to Doomguard, but
It's a lot of decisions to make here. He's got to think through all the possibilities, all the ways that he could lose.
oh my gosh, he could actually just silence too. He could silence the egg.
Yeah.
So he could just silence the
Silence
egg and
Shadow
Shadow
Flame.
Flame, and then he leaves his 8/3 taunt up. Then he's not even dead to Doomguard.
Yeah, you're right.
The only thing he dies to then is Dark Bomb and Soulfire, and like Hellfire. But
I think
really see-
I think he's probably. I don't know. Dark Bomb is like a decent chance.
I think it's a risk you got to take. Your opponent didn't have it last turn, so they they have 2 draws to get it this turn.
Yeah, how many cards in are we? Let's see. I mean, he's 19 cards left. There's 2 Dark Bombs in his deck. He'd almost be halfway through.
This is assuming he has 2 Dark Bombs in his deck too.
That
But
is.
now the pressure's put back onto Kolento, and Kolento needs something to get out of this position.
Let's see. Oh, that's not it. He's got to tap.
Flame Imp will actually put him in lethal damage.
What's it going to be? Oh,
It's another
no.
Nerubian Egg.
Oh, no. The complete turnaround, man. I thought he had it. I thought he had it for sure when he brought him down to 2 HP there. I thought he was going to be able to finish it off, and another heal, of course.
Wow, Antique Healbot is going to put him out of range of almost
Of
everything.
everything. And Faramir is going to have the 3-0 comeback over Kolento. Just ridiculous.
Do you put all this damage to the dome and restrict his life taps? Or do you take out the Undertaker so he can't?
I think you just go face, man. I don't think he can kill you. What are you gonna? What combination does he get that can kill you here? He has to break
Death
through.
Rattle, 2 Power Overwhelmings.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a low chance.
Death Rattle, Power Overwhelming, Doom
And if you
Guard.
take away his life taps, then it's okay. So he's gonna take away. He's gonna take away that. And I mean, this keeps us alive another turn as well. And he knows he has another heal, so that is super safe.
And he's still threatening lethal. Even if Kolento life taps, he's got to kill him this turn. I don't think there's anything in Kolento's deck that could possibly get him out of this scenario.
Neither do I.
Could Defender of Argus put him back in it?
Knife juggler. I mean, I guess you just see where they go. Nice
Got to
juggler.
play the Direwolf Alpha first.
Yep. He's kind of hoping, I think, that it kills the 2-1.
Oh, it goes to the face. He wants to kill that 2-1.
He's got to kill the 2-1.
Doesn't get
man.
it.
He's got
to kill the 2-1 or Kolento's dead.
Oh, he got it.
Wow.
He's still alive. Dark Bomb.
Dark Bomb gets drawn, and Faramir
Oh,
is
man.
going to reverse all kill Kolento. Down 2 games. Now the winner of the series. 3 games to 2 on the back of Handlock and Antique Healbot.
Yeah, man. Antique Healbot with some broad shoulders in that series, I have to say.